Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bants and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome to the second live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from an undisclosed location hidden deep beneath the surface of the earth. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey there.
And Mrs.
Hello. And
All
not
right.
and not broadcasting live from jail, which is where we kind of left this 2 weeks ago because we weren't on last week. I mean, it seems like forever
yeah.
because so much stuff
Yes.
has happened, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. There was never any real danger of jail.
Well, the people who are listening don't know that.
I suppose that's correct, but again, no danger of jail. And in fact, living through the mystery, the local sheriff's department thought we owned something we didn't own, and a car went right through that thing we didn't own.
So here was the funny thing about that, though, right? So they called, and I was on the phone with them while we were actually podcasting, and I was trying to get from them, well, what's this about? And they're like, well, we can't tell you that. We only can tell him that. And so it turns out that the thing that we owned, actually, I am the owner, not John. He's not even on nothing to do with that at all.
Nothing to do with the deed, nothing to do with it.
No.
No ownership ever in any historical point in time. It's inheritance.
Help on being oppressed.
But yet, women are a chattel.
That's right. We are chattel. I blame that Supreme Court decision. Yes.
yes. That was exactly it. They cyclically understood what the Supreme Court was going to do, and they said, nope, nothing for you. Nothing for you, woman. We'll only talk to the men.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, and the funny thing is, you drive up there, and and again, it's a small town, so you get out and you hit your hazards, and the sheriff doesn't immediately pull a gun out and say, "Quit resisting."
Stop resisting.
He said, "Well, we're going to need you to see your driver's license." And I said, "For what?" "Well, this is this isn't my stuff." "Oh, well, then I don't need to see your driver's license."
Right. And the funny thing is even if he'd asked you for your driver's license, it's not your stuff.
Well, it is, because you're only a woman.
That's right. I'm not allowed to make those decisions.
That's right. Again, I'm not against abortion. I don't think women should have that sort of power to choose.
All for killing babies. Women just should be able to make that choice.
Yeah, that's smart enough. So, Mark, what's up in your world?
Oh, jeez, nothing much. Just hanging in there.
No run-ins with the police?
No, not me. I live a really quiet life.
Well, we do too. This is like literally the first time. I can't recall the last time I've talked to somebody from the sheriff's department when it wasn't, like at the gas pump, and it was
Hey, John. Hey,
somebody
Bob.
We knew.
How's it going? Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah. Again.
Yeah, I mean,
I live in
I
Mayberry.
got the first ticket that I'd had in like 30 years, traffic ticket that I had in 30 years last year. So.
Oh. And what were you doing?
About 55 and a 35.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, they tend to get a little hot about that, don't they?
It was coming around this bend, and the highway just sort of, the interstates has this part that splits off, and it just dumps into the middle of the town, and so I was coming in off of that, and so this anyway.
So you were coming around the
I
mountain.
I just didn't slow down when I needed to. But he let me off easy. He marked me down as doing 36 and a 35.
Okay. Yeah, that's much better. Or you could get. See, if you take off your seatbelt right away, then you just give you a seatbelt violation. That satisfies the need.
So, no, he was nice about it. So,
Oh. Well, let's see. And I'm sure that people did not come in to hear about our travails with the police departments because
Our
again,
minor
these are
brushes
so
with the law.
tame.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they shot me 90 times. Well, they shot at me 90 times. They only hit me 60. You missed once.
yeah, we have shootings like that occasionally here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, there's been a couple of them where the police have just unloaded on somebody. So, but
It sounds like it was not one of the people that you liked the way you laughed.
yeah, you
That
don't
was a kind of an evil little laugh there.
you don't want to piss off the Boise police.
But,
See, it's pretty rare that we get stuff like that here. The only thing I can even think of that comes close to that is when the guy tried to rob the bank. Do you remember that?
yeah.
And they came, and we live kind of, we don't live in city proper. We kind of live on the outskirts. And so they came barreling down our road, and the cops had shot the tires out, so the sparks are flying. And you could see where he cut the groove into the asphalt on the street in front of our house. And actually, he went off the road just a little to the south of us and took out the neighbor's mailbox. It was a very exciting afternoon.
Well, I don't want to make it sound like it happens here all the time. I mean, but when there are shootouts, I mean, they're not going to hold back.
Right. Well, yeah. Oh, what we've been training for. Hut. Oh,
Well, it's
speaking
funny.
of
It's like
which,
finally when the coach puts you in the game, you got to be ready to run for the touchdown, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
and that's a good point. When the coach finally puts the SCOTUS in the game, and the SCOTUS was certainly in the game last week.
And were
Yeah, so they had a whole bunch of rulings that we haven't even discussed.
I don't think we discussed any of
well,
them because the first one, the gun one, came down on the Thursday after the last time we podcast. We haven't talked about any of these.
Yeah.
Well, and what I really want to talk to was the one that had to deal with, the migratory waterfowl, because I'm sure that's what everyone. Oh, wait.
Though I did
There
read an
wasn't.
op-ed today in what's going to be in tomorrow's print edition of the Journal that the one of the EPA ruling was really the one that is the important
That's a
one.
significant one.
Yeah.
Yes, because it takes the ability away from regulators to just make stuff up as they go along.
It's the first step in reining in the administrative state.
Exactly.
Rule
That's
by
what I said.
experts. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's not. Yeah.
But
Go
It
ahead.
won't stop them. It just means it'll be easier to sue them to get relief, but you still have to sue them, which takes money and time, and and they operate on the hope
Right. That you die
Uh,
before
the-
it gets through the courts, right?
that most of the people aren't going to have the resources to fight them.
Right. Who has that deep of pockets?
Yeah, and they do it all the time. They even do it for minor criminal stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll somebody will get say fined or something for whatever, shooting a bear or something in the wrong part of the state or whatever, and the federal prosecutors will a lot of times if it's a misdemeanor and they can just get away with imposing a fine where there's no mandatory jail time, or they have the option for there not to be jail time and just seek the fine, they'll seek the fine just so that the person won't be able to have a court appointed attorney provided to them, and then they don't have the money to hire an attorney.
Sneaky. And they have all the time in the world too, right?
And all the resources. I mean, they can throw
Yeah.
$1 million at any particular case they want to.
So for example, this is my own family lore here, is that my family had a substantial amount of land west of Dallas-Fort Worth. And when World War II rolled around, the patriarch of the family said, well, I'm a good, loyal citizen. You need an air base here. And so we will give you this land on which you can put a military base as long as you give it back when the war is over and you don't need it anymore. That's still tied up in court. Still suing the federal government over that because they won't give it back.
Oh, no, I think that case is over.
Well, they're not ever going to give it back.
Well, no.
Once it's in Uncle Sam's hand, it's gone, baby.
Yep. Oh, well, let's go back to the SCOTUS. Let's go back to the SCOTUS. Anyway, so we'll start with abortion because that's the one that's got everybody upset. And that kicked it all back to the various states. And there has been much wailing of gnashing of teeth of those on the left side of the aisle. So what did Mr. Biden have to say?
I believe Roe v. Wade was the correct decision as a matter of constitutional law and application of the fundamental right to privacy and liberty in matters of family and personal autonomy. It was a decision on a complex matter that drew a careful balance between a woman's right to choose earlier in her pregnancy and the state's ability to regulate later in her pregnancy.
So that was Joe Biden just a week or so ago.
God, he sounds like he's 150 years old, doesn't he?
Oh, we'll get to that here in a second or so.
Okay.
But
okay.
you want to hear what 2006 Joe Biden had to say about that?
Sure.
Okay.
I do not view abortion as a choice and a right. I think it's always a tragedy, and I think that it should be rare and safe. And I think we should be focusing on how to limit the number of abortions.
Seems like a different guy, doesn't it?
Well, again, it's been 20 years. 20 years since that, and it sure shows. Every minute of that shows on it. It's almost
okay.
old.
So 2006, Joe Biden is on the screen right now, and I have that goofy picture that I like to use of him. But here's Joe Biden now. That doesn't even look like the same guy. I don't want to start any conspiracy theories or anything, but that guy, and that's only been. What's my rule of doing math, honey? Never ever do math live because you'll always find some way to screw it up. 2022, 2006. Let's just say it's almost 20 years. That's a hard almost 20 years.
That is very, very difficult. We'll say he would hit the wall.
Yeah. Well, and he even sounded different in those two clips.
Well, he does, because you can definitely hear the snap on, and if you go back, especially into the 90s when he was in the Senate, he, as bad as his opinions were, at least he said them in somewhat of a coherent fashion. But I think we've got an example of that too tonight, don't we? Of him in the 90s.
No.
You didn't bring that one up?
Okay. I was not aware of that one.
Okay, well, never mind. Let's continue on.
I think I looked for it, but the 2006 was the one I found. Fine. Yeah.
Yep. So, let's go back to someone who's really informed about the issue of abortion. AOC.
A party and individuals who claim to protect the lives of children just weeks after over a dozen children died in Texas now claim to support their life. The lives of the young. Who are we protecting? Who does this protect?
Who, AOC, who?
No one. Overturning Roe puts every single one of us in danger.
So did you tamper with that clip?
No, not at all.
Well, here's the difficulty I have with that particular clip.
Yeah.
It sounds like she could be one of the chipmunks.
No,
like Alvin and the Chipmunks. God, she just is shrill and sounds like a 6-year-old. And of course, the logic of Roe puts every one of us in danger.
Well, how many articles have you seen in the last couple of weeks?
The Antichrist might be born any day now.
I have a theory on that. We'll talk about that after
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
podcast. Oh, do you want me to talk about it now? Would you like me to reveal that now?
No, okay. So, well, how can they ban us for a religious theory? Go ahead, go for
But
it.
how can they ban us for political speech too? But they do, right? Do you want me to share that now?
Go for it.
Okay, sure. I think the Ukrainian guy, Zelensky, I think he might be the Antichrist. And I'm serious about this. I'm not joking. You know, because he's going to be this really popular, almost mythical figure. And as a force of good, right? And who doesn't think Zelensky is the bomb at this point, right? I mean, we keep shoveling him truckloads of money. I keep waiting for it to happen, that, there'll be a bombing or something and it will come out that he's been killed. And then like a couple days later, he'll show up back alive. I'm waiting for that. I'm not completely convinced of this. I know now it makes me sound like I'm crazy.
It's okay. Man, we got your meds for you.
I know. Marcus just dropped off the call. He's like, that's it. I'm out.
I was reading a book today on that sort of touched on the Antichrist and stuff. It was on it's on topic of Mystery Babylon, but my sort of theory is that when the Antichrist is wounded grievously, that that's sort of marks where he changes to being really, really nasty, kill everyone type of person. And I think what's going to happen is he'll be that he will blame Christians for whatever happened to him, and that's when he'll start having Christians killed.
Yeah, see, and so that's that. For me, is really kind of the turning point with this, because I'm like, 60% thinking this maybe, but that will definitely tick that up a little bit if that happens. We'll see. Just along for the ride.
See, and me, I just, so I saw a Chris Pratt movie.
Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean?
It's just entirely up to, I have no theory.
You saw a Chris Pratt movie?
Chris Pratt,
Chris Pratt,
a Chris Pratt, yeah.
Okay.
You'll never be able to let go of that now. Every time you say his name from now on, you'll be thinking Chris Pratt.
All right. Okay. Let's
try it. Try it. Just say it.
Let's
Chris
get back.
Pratt. And then
Chris
you'll just
Pratt.
be thinking crisp.
Wait, since when am I supposed to be the adult in the room? That's not my
I
job.
know, right?
I'm not doing well with this. All right. Of all the justices who ruled against Lefty dogma in the past.
Oh, wait, you skipped one. You skipped one.
Oh, no. 43 seconds inside the head of AOC.
Here we go.
And now it's time for another installment of 43 Seconds Inside the Head of AOC.
So, I guess the Supremes handed down some landmark decisions last week, except I don't understand why a group of female singers from the 60s get to have so much power. But at least they're all women, right? Girl power! Grr. Anyway, one of the decisions says everyone has to own a gun now, and the other one says that all women are cattle. I think that's just unfair. I mean, it's true for a lot of women, but not all of us are cows. Not like that cow Sheila who stole my boyfriend sophomore year. The only thing that should be supported by legs like hers is a piano, am I right? But, no. Hey, check out the cool echo. Hello, Rambo. Yo, Adrian. Yellow.
This has been 43 Seconds Inside the Head of AOC.
You had altogether too much fun making that, didn't
I
you?
really enjoyed putting that together. Yeah.
Oh, poor girl had a thought once, but it died of
Yeah.
loneliness.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, yeah. See,
At least she doesn't have to worry about letting her Mensa dues lapse, right?
you know, I would. Yeah, I'm thinking I could be further on her. Again, because at a certain point it's mean. It's like beating up on a kitten because she's just so stupid.
But she keeps coming back for more, and
Yeah, I guess I could go with the.
Sometimes you got to whack the dog with the rolled up newspaper a couple times before he gets the point. Bad dog.
The advice from Tropic Thunder: you never go full AOC. All right. Of all the justices who ruled against lefty dogma the past couple of weeks, of course, the guy who's taken the most flack has been Justice Clarence Thomas. But Justice Thomas just continues to weather the storm.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm. North is still north. People can yell at you. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
I kind of like that point of view in a judge.
He is the judge of nature. And again, he has caused single-handedly, that man has caused more butthurt among the left, even more than Trump. Even more than Trump.
He really has, yeah.
Speaking of which, and taking this a little bit off topic, whenever they talk about Trump, they always use the phrase falsely asserted or
without evidence,
falsely claimed. Yeah,
right.
Without evidence claimed. And so I was reading a story about Biden today, and it was indicating Joe Biden today said blank, and I thought we should read it like Joe Biden falsely asserted without evidence that he was trying to do something to fix the economy.
Well, but he has done stuff like that, and it's clear that he's just making this stuff up and stating it as fact. But again, unlike Trump, they don't say without evidence.
Well, it's the Putin price hike.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
Yes. But since everything has been based around the Supreme, which is, again, the Supreme Court is just regular court, but with sour cream and potato. The Supreme Court's top security officers asked the Maryland governor to enforce laws barring picketing outside the Maryland homes of high court justices, saying protests and threatening activity increased. Supreme Court Marshal Gail Curley made the request on July 1st to Governor Larry Hogan, noting that Maryland law prohibits people from intentionally assembling in a manner that disrupts a person's right to tranquility in the person's home.
Take away our bodily autonomy and enjoy your Saturday night at home. You get to do one or the other.
Oh my. Codex mentions Karens. That sounds like the full Karen on the megaphone.
Right, exactly. And my favorite thing, is those who say, well, 9 men in Supreme Court robes shouldn't get to make this decision for everyone. Yes, Karen, that's exactly what the court just said.
Well, and if you go back even further to the Declaration, or not the Declaration, the Constitution, one of the views of the early framers of the Constitution, Thomas Jefferson, was that each branch should be co-equal in its ability to call things unconstitutional. So Jefferson thought that the Supreme Court could call something unconstitutional, as could the president, as could Congress. So it was not a power reserved to the Supreme Court alone, but a power that Jefferson thought was implicit in each of the legs of government, which I thought was amazing. I thought, How cool is that?
You know, Jefferson really was an early libertarian. And you know how I feel about Jefferson. Of the founding fathers, he's certainly one or two my favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
You and I have had this conversation before. I can remember taking American history when I was in like 8th grade and reading about the back and forth of the founding fathers. And first of all, I never liked Alexander Hamilton. And I loved Thomas Jefferson. Even when I was 14 years old.
What about Roger Maris or Yogi Berra? I mean, they were great fun.
Well, let's ask their opinion. Okay. It's probably worth more than AOC's. Yeah.
All right.
But apparently, the Supreme Court Marshal, Gail Curley, has really kind of just gotten this as a response from the governor.
Unfortunately, all representatives are still busy assisting other callers. Your call is important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
They really kind of got back a form letter that just said essentially that. Your input is important to us, but, you know, sit down and shut up.
Oh, well, it was the 4th of July, right? And
it was indeed.
That is celebrated in England as the 4th of July because it's just, you know, what they called Monday.
They had to work on Monday.
But the Queen, being ever the sport she is, decided to send us a congratulatory message on our Independence Day.
And now, a Bombs and Bants exclusive. A special holiday message from Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II.
Hello, all you bloody wankers across the pond. Greetings to you as you once again celebrate one of the greatest letdowns in the history of the English-speaking people. These non-English speakers have their own issues to deal with. American independence from Britain. Or as known around in my house, Colonial Treason Day. That's right, 246 years ago, you bastards kicked kindly King George in the nutsack, told him to sod off, and started on your merry way of getting blind drunk, mingling the King's English and playing with firearms. And now I'm supposed to sing you some sort of flowery speech with some sugar-coated words about what a wondrous two countries we have, parent and child, and all manner of manky cock. So here it is. Happy Treason Day, you bunch of gormless bucks. Trying to understand what that means? Anyway.
You know, I'm starting to think that that's not really the Queen.
She sounded drunk, even though I know for a fact that it was time.
She did sound a little drunk. She kind of got off track there in the middle a little bit.
6 cups of coffee. I know that she'd had 6 cups of coffee that morning. So anyway, there's the Queen. Okay.
Salty.
So this page.
Coffee with some Irish fortitude added.
No. In this case, it was straight coffee. I was with her all morning. I wish. And still sober. That's the problem. And still sober. That's the problem, everyone. All right. Impromptu check-in from the Queen. But we do have the best news of the day. He's back. Jetpack Man has been spotted once again over LAX. And this is not a repeat from last year or 6 months ago. That's about a week ago. Here's the exchange with air traffic control.
Hey, we just got a report of Jetman coming back at 4,500 feet over gate. Do you happen to see anything out there in front of?
Say that again?
Yeah, we heard that the Jetpack Man is back. Just wondering if you saw anything on final.
No, we don't see Jetpack Man.
You missed out. Okay, have a good day.
I think that's my favorite part of that is where the guy in air traffic goes, say that again?
See, Jetpack Man, you should put it together theme. Jetpack Man does whatever Jetpack
I keep telling you, no one on our podcast has any musical talent. If you can find some people to outsource that to, I would be happy to do it. But it's not. I'm not going to do it because I can't. I can't sing, and I can barely play a musical instrument. I can, however, work miracles with Photoshop.
Okay.
On close up, here's Jetpack Man.
There you go.
And actually,
exactly what it.
Yeah, heading over to the Twitter headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he had to make 2 trips so he could take his dog.
All right. Oh,
I love Elon. He's so entertaining.
and I take it there's no Jetpack Man in Boise.
No. I wonder if that's something like some, Skunk Works type of project that's being tested.
Well,
you know,
for a while
you think
that
they
it
would
was
test it in Nevada?
that it was a balloon of the main character from Nightmare Before Christmas. You know what I'm talking about? I can't think what his character.
Skellington.
Yes, that guy.
Johnny Depp. It all comes back to Johnny Depp. I think that was
always
Johnny
comes
Depp,
back to
wasn't it?
No.
I don't know.
I don't
I've never
really
seen The
know.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Neither have I. I'm not a huge
No,
fan of
Yeah,
his
no,
face.
that.
Yeah.
So Nightmare Before Christmas has Freddy Krueger. The Edward Scissorhands is the one that Johnny Depp played.
Yes.
That's it.
Said the man who made people think he had scissors for hands. Oh, Amber Heard. Amber Heard.
No one thought that. No one thought that.
No, she's
Fecal
soulmates with
matter.
AOC.
All right.
See, and I was looking for. I had a sound effect for this because I had other things to say here. Now I can't find it.
So we
I guess it's not going to happen.
some things that weren't on the list. Joe Biden is sending oil from our strategic petroleum reserve apparently off to Europe and Asia. So we've got that.
I thought the strategic oil reserves were for us.
Yeah, and
Okay,
the Georgia Guidestones got exploded. Did you hear about that one, Mark?
No, I didn't.
Yes, they were exploded. Apparently, in a to quote from 16 Candles, lake, big lake. No, apparently strapped a bomb to them, and they're just gone.
Jeez.
Well, it took out one of the 4, and then they said it was unsafe to keep standing up, so they brought in a dozer, and it's down. And the Dutch. Oh, go ahead.
That was supposed to be the Rosetta Stone for our descendants.
Well, and someone said that there's a time capsule. There's a rumor that there's a time capsule underneath. So who can say? And maybe it was Amber Heard that took the Georgia Guidestones down. I bet it was her. All right. Let's see. And also the Dutch are firing on their own farmers. They're shooting at their own farmers because the farmers are revolting. Actually, they're not that bad. They're just Dutch.
Revolting. They stink on ice.
They stink on ice. But they have to remove at least, for instance, 30% of their cows from the farms in order to meet the nitrogen goals that they have for the year 2030. And the farmers are like, do you remember who feeds us? So
yeah, they're actually one of the top exporters of agricultural products.
Yeah, and so that's kind of a big deal. And I guess the Germans had their tractors lined up to support the Dutch. Of course, nothing like seeing a bunch of Germans behind metal heading into your country. You start to think Panzers again, but anyway, those are some of the stories that we.
And I guess the fishermen there in the Netherlands also were joined in and were trying to blockade some of the harbors.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And Germany, of course, is pretty close to a shutdown of its economy because, to quote them, Russia's using energy as a weapon. And I'm going, you guys use money as a weapon, so what's different here? But that brings us to the Brain Jackass of the Week.
Does it?
Should at some point.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Brain Jackass of the Week.
All right. Jackass contestant number 1. Oh, hang on a second. New York Governor Kathy Hochul on the Soup's ruling last week that the Second Amendment applies to everyone, even New Yorkers. Like all Democrats, she assumes her audience is a bunch of dim bulbs.
Does everyone understand what a concealed weapon means? That you have no forewarning. That someone can hide a weapon on them and go into our subways, go into our grocery stores like stores up in Buffalo, New York, where I'm from. Go into a school in Parkland or Uvalde.
That's a scary looking woman. And yes, she thinks everyone's an idiot, I think. She also called the ruling reckless, frightening in its scope, while New York City Mayor Eric Adams says nothing in his city is going to change. The new law lays out a very strict licensing process and sensitive areas where you can't take things like Times Square, government-owned buildings, schools, healthcare facilities, places of worship, and public transportation, which means really kind of the only place you can actually have a gun is in your car.
The crazy thing is New Yorkers already have guns in all the places that she listed.
Of course they do.
Okay.
She just doesn't want people killing her voter base.
She doesn't want the victims shooting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who is the competition for that?
The competition. While talking about Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas this week, former Star Trek actor George Takei,
who is still alive.
Yeah.
Until it comes down monkeypox.
That's possible. But, yeah, George said the quiet part out loud.
He is a clown in blackface sitting on the Supreme Court. He gets me that angry. Sir. He doesn't belong there.
Hey, it's kind of short. You want to hear that again?
He is a clown in blackface sitting on the Supreme Court. He gets me that angry. Sir. He doesn't belong there.
Is Mr. Takei not aware that Clarence Thomas actually is a black man?
That was Justice Thurgood Blackman.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my.
So, Mark, who's your vote for?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Takei.
It's a two for Takei.
It is.
It's an idiot.
George Takei. Yeah. Jackass of the Week. And this has been Neil Young's Brain Jackass of the Week. Bye, George.
Well.
Okay. Yeah.
So it has been an eventful couple of weeks that we've had, and I think it's rather fascinating. I mean, whoever had the Georgia Guidestones going down in their bingo card for 2022, that's a long shot. That'd be a big winner.
Shot. Yeah, it was.
I can't mention it. There's a disease that some people have gotten that maybe that there might have been an injection for, that maybe the injection's not good anymore for the current type of disease that's out there.
Coronavirus! Coronavirus!
I didn't say that.
Who let Cardi B in here? For the love of... Go sit down, Cardi.
Yeah. And strangely, I don't.
Oh, you didn't say anything about it. That was Cardi.
Yep.
Dr. Cardi making her rounds.
Yep. Do you have any news to bring up of note, Mark?
Oh, I was just going to add that I'd seen an article that completely unrelated, I swear, that death from all causes is up 40%, according to the insurance people.
I've heard of a lot of strange heart problems.
Who can say?
Don't know what it could be related to.
It's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
We'll probably
it
never
truly
know.
Is.
ever. Oh my. Yes. Well, yeah, and honestly, that's I do feel for those folks because they did put their faith in the system, and the system let them down. And of course, but there's one thing we know about Pfizer. What's the one thing we know about Pfizer, dear?
I don't know. What is it?
How many refunds?
Oh, right. Absolutely no refunds. Yeah.
No refunds.
Yeah. Although, funnily enough, I was listening to something on, I'll just name them, iHeartMedia. So, as a former radio person, I can tell you this, is that radio people don't get into radio because they like to work and work hard. They do it because they're lazy. Okay? So I'm listening to it today, and someone had taken, it really is a COVID vaccine, PSA, but it's paid for by Pfizer. But whoever dumped it into their system for iHeart just looked at the waveform, looked at where it started and where it stopped, and put all of that in. So the first part of that they put in is the it's the tab, it's the background information. So what you get is this guy coming on every commercial break going, click. This is 30-second full mix down Pfizer. Sports theme for commercial radio in 3, 2, 1. Every commercial break.
Radio. Always spelling quality with a 7.
Well, it just reminds me way back when automation was a thing that just got started. And the station I was working for was not automated, but we had one that was in the building we had to take care of. And everybody who worked for my station really resented that. So we had to go down and do weather for this before we did our own shifts. So one of the guys had gone in and done the weather report, and he screwed up and just let out a torrent of obscenity, stuff you can't put on the radio. But he didn't erase it. And by the way the automation system was set up, and he also didn't put an end date on when it would play. Otherwise, it would just have played once. He didn't end date it. So it played every other hour for 24 hours. And he got called into the general manager's office on Monday, and he was telling me this story later, and he says, I said to the guy, look, what do you want me to do? I can't go back and make it not happen. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Fire me or tell me I can go. Whatever. I'm just done talking about this. So he didn't get fired, but because that was before Janice Jackson showed her nipple on national TV. Otherwise, he would have.
So apparently today, Biden issued a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the first person he gave it to, he put the medal on the guy backwards.
I was going to say he forgot his name.
He's done that, but he put it on backwards.
Maybe next time he'll give it to a bust of Stalin.
Yep. Okay. That's fine. Sources are saying again that may be a fake. Well,
but who can tell? It's believable, though, right?
Well, and I got the footer right here, so I can pull it up and take a look.
Well, like Mark Twain used to say, when fiction is better than a more interesting story than the truth, go with the fiction. Go with the lie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's more interesting. Let's go with that. We're kind of in a post-truth world, though, aren't we?
We are. It looks like it might be on forwards. It's just that the guy has a gigantor neck. Maybe. Okay. So we've got that. All right. Well, any other exciting news that the world can't live without hearing?
It's just all abortion and guns right now.
It is indeed. And if I were to do a prediction for what would be the Democrats' theme for the midterm elections, it would be
I know. Abortion
and guns.
Right.
Yes.
Well, oh wait, we do have someone here who wants to chime in on everything we've been talking about tonight. Please welcome back in Samuel L. Jackbot. Samuel L. Jackbot, what do you have to say about everything we talked about tonight? Anything? Seriously?
I don't remember asking you a god.
You want to try that again?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
My soundboard's screwed up. Otherwise, that would have been much funnier had it actually fired when I hit it.
Oh, once again, you're proving that thing you said about radio people. All right. Well, on that note.
Yeah, exactly. On what note?
On that note. All right.
Is
I'd
that
like
a
to
note
thank
that we're
everyone.
ending the podcast?
Yes, that's
Are we
why
going
I
to try
keep
and talk
saying.
it out to the end here so you can actually hit it on the post?
Yeah. I don't know. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
So thank you once again for joining us for another week of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your humble host, John Wilder.
It's still your line. And I'm the missus.
So please join us next week and every week thereafter until the universe dies
To
in
the
heat
end
death.
of time. Y'all come back now, you hear?